Hello and welcome to the Art of Living Vibrant. I'm Erin Carlisle. I'm an artist and a therapeutic art and wellness coach, and today we are going to be exploring a creative approach to wellness, and this is what my whole entire business is about. It is just a creative way of taking care of ourselves, of kind of having this way to deal with all the thoughts and emotions and what they're trying to communicate to you, and really just how to deal with it so that you can feel the way you want to feel in your life, and you can show up and do the things and achieve the goals and all the things. But this series is called the Feel Good Sessions, and we are only on episode 2. It's this brand new series, so please let me know in the comments what you would love to see from this. And yeah, we're gonna dive in because I'm doing a little bit different format on the second episode, and I'm just gonna paint with you as I am talking. We'll see how it goes. All right, so we're going to pick up, I recommend a pencil, but all I had on hand was a pen. So that's what we're going to start with. And I'm talking super fast, but we're going to slow it down. So just put your pen or pencil in the middle of the page. You're going to close your eyes, and we're going to take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, let your pen or pencil roll out. And then come back in on the inhale. Exhale and inhale, out and in. Okay, now this might feel a little weird. It's weird to me to do this on a video in this style, but automatically when you start doing these deep breaths, your shoulders start to relax, you start feeling into your body, and you feel a little more grounded. So when you're doing this, whether you're doing it with me, I hope you are in this session, but if you're doing it at a later date, just give yourself that time to breathe, to really take those deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, and go through the process. All right, so next up, we're gonna get going into painting. And I do not have anything planned because I'm painting with you guys. I grabbed a handful of bright colors because it is spring, it's finally warm weather, and I love the warm weather, and so I'm just all things bright. And you know, it's funny, I don't know about you guys, but I love warm weather, I love the sun, and I love bright colors, but for a long time I would not wear bright colors. It was like, no, I don't want people looking at me. I don't know what it was, but I would not wear them. But as you'll see, as we're going into this, I am color blocking. You probably saw this in the last one. If you watch this, the first one, and if you've seen me on Instagram at all, I'm a huge fan of starting with color blocking, largely because, and I'm going to get a different brush I'm going to go into a warm color. It just makes it easier to use a new brush. But I like this starting with just kind of this color block and just getting paint on the page because you don't think too much about it. You know, you don't plan it out. You just start throwing it down. You can see all my pen marks that are really wonky and not too pretty, but they'll be covered up by the end of this, and so I don't worry about it. I do prefer to use a pencil, so I recommend that, or even a watercolor pencil or an Inktense, and sometimes you can rinse those and kind of play with it that way, but that is not today. So again, I'm just trying to fill up my page with some color to give myself a jumping off point. And since these are just the feel good sessions, these are not getting into any of the deep work. So in my business, in the Art of Living Vibrant, I'm currently working on an app. It is very close to being ready to go. It's not quite there. But we go a little deeper, and I have these feel good sessions will be on there where you don't have to have ads and all that kind of stuff, but there will also be the mood sessions, which is kind of honoring your mood, honoring your feelings. And there will be an art meditation one, or art as meditation. And then I have the Color Me Vibrant journey. And that one is a little more just full on for personal development, using art for personal development. But we do a lot of deep diving to kind of get through some of those blocks and just kind of prepping yourself for the day and showing up, and kind of a full spectrum. So as you will see here, I am just putting blocks of color, and I'm continuing. You saw I started doing a little bit of dots and lines as I was talking. And what I love about just talking in these feel good sessions is really that I'm not worried at all about what it is, and I'm just playing. And I, typically I have, if I'm doing this on my own, technically I'm on my own. I'm recording a video for you guys, but out here. But if I am not recording, I have my music going, and so it's just, I usually will play a little bit more upbeat, a little more just flow type music, so it's a little bit different vibe than whenever I'm doing my art as meditation, which is really about getting my energy and my mind focused for how I want to be showing up. And a lot of that is working through kind of the current feelings and where that's kind of holding me back, and how I need to reshift my focus to really be feeling, being the energy, and just showing up in my life the way that I want to. So yeah, I you're gonna find out I'm a talker if you stick around for any length of time, and sometimes I'm amazed because I'm kind of shy. It's like the weirdest combination. I'm like, how can somebody be shy yet also once they get comfortable will talk your ear off? And that is me. That is 100% me. So but I want you, as you're going through and doing this, to just really, like, this is the hardest thing I think for people. Don't think about it. Like, do not think about it. Just be like, I want to put some of this color on, and swirl it around. Because here's the thing with these feel good sessions. You are literally just thinking about the way you want to be feeling. You are cutting loose from all your responsibilities for a little bit, and you're saying, nope, this time's for me. This time's for me to just say, I just need to play a little bit. Like, I don't, adulting is really hard. I don't know how you feel about it. Adulting's hard, and there's all kinds of responsibilities, and I think sometimes it's like, if you have kids especially, you get caught up with all the things for them, and all the fun is kind of circled around them, and that's, it's wonderful, it's great, but it's also like, hey, I'm still a person. And so that, some of this is just to give yourself some time for you to just play, to, it doesn't, you can tell I'm working really fast. And I say really fast, it feels fast to me. Sometimes I watch back my videos and I'm like, I was moving at a snail's pace. But I'm not trying to draw anything realistic. I'm not trying to, I'm not worried about this trying to be a finished work of art, and I think with intuitive painting, and this is one of those things that you really got to get used to, just slapping paint down. And I really mean, like, slap it down. Like, do not get in your head and be like, ooh, maybe this color will be by this or this. You will figure that out as you go. Like, if you just play with the colors that you like, and I know sometimes my mom, she'll be like, you make it look so easy, but it's not that easy. I'm like, well, I know I've been doing it a while. I also don't think I'm the best I know I'm not the best painter, but I really enjoy it, and I end up with some pieces that I think are really nice and I want to put up in my house, or I might be able to sell. But painting's not actually my strong suit. I am better at drawing than I am painting, but I really love painting, and I love the way painting makes me feel. And I think sometimes it's always this hard balance of like doing things, leaning into your strengths and doing what you're good at, or just saying, I only have this one life and I want to do it. I want to spend my life doing things that I enjoy. And I know there's always things that you're not going to enjoy in life, because that's just part of life, unfortunately. But I think the more that we can focus on bringing in more of the things that we really enjoy, and and again, I'm like, for a long time I just painted, and it was for myself. It was the way I healed, and like I said, just because I enjoyed it, and I didn't share it at all. And then I kind of started messing with it a few years ago. I really was like, this was like extremely transformative for me. And so I started trying to be like, how do I make this into a business? Could I teach other people this? Could I share it? And unfortunately, I'm a military wife, and we had a lot of family things happen that I was struggling with, and I was like, if I'm struggling this much myself, how am I supposed to help other people and really help people work through it? And I realized that, like, it's not about being perfect. It's not about having all the answers, and it's not about me being this perfectly strong, like I figured everything out, to be able to help you to say, hey, when you get knocked down, here's a process that you can pull yourself back up. Because to me, that's the true meaning of strength. Like, being strong is getting knocked down, and you might take a knee and you might take a moment, but you stand back up again. And that's like the visual image I have. I was an athlete all through college, and I'm like, that was strength. Like, you might have a moment that you're just like, oh my God, like, but you have to pull yourself back together, and the game goes on, and otherwise you're gonna lose. And that is with life, and so I really feel passionate, not really probably guiding you through this painting as much as you might like. And so I'm sorry if you don't like these tangents, or that I'm not actually giving more guidance. Let me know in the comments. If you're okay with my chitter chatter, you can let me know on that too. I also tend to talk more when I get nervous. So, being kind of introvert, putting myself out there. I look back at some of my videos, I'm like, ay. But at the same time, I feel that this is important, and I feel that if it doesn't even go anywhere, to share in the capacity that I can share, to let that flow of value, or that exchange of value, kind of flow, and when we figure something out that helps us, I think that it's our job to share it and to teach it to other people. And for me, the challenge has been to do it in a way that's like, I know what's best. Like, I don't want to come across like that. I just want to be like, this has been huge for me, and I know it could be huge for you. I know it could help so many people. And so, you'll see me trip, stumble as I'm doing this, but know that my heart really is just to teach people to get out of their head, how to recognize kind of how their thoughts are creating the feelings, and how to make that connection, and to like what their heart's trying to communicate with their mind. But it's about our emotional energy. Our emotional energy affects everything in our life, every decision, every just the way we show up. I got tripped up on my words, so I'm like, what? I really love movement whenever I am painting something, and so that's why you'll also see me, I keep doing swooshes and I keep doing these marks, because for me, I feel like life is constantly moving, right? And I guess that's part of reflecting how I feel, is that a lot of times it feels a little chaotic. I take on a lot. I like a lot going on. It makes me feel alive. And so I think that my paintings can tend to reflect a little bit of that. And I know sometimes I take on probably too much, as many of us can tend to do. But I think that whenever we approach it, I'm going to use a little bit of an analogy that my son, we were listening to some music, and it was 2 different songs, and my son was like, so on the one song she's saying stop and smell the roses, you know, you only got one life, live in the moment type thing. And then in the other song, she's like, I'm a hustler, I don't have time to stop. I don't know if she said smell the roses, but it was something similar. I'm like, well, you know, I think sometimes it just depends on the person's perspective in the song, but that we only have one life and we want to live in this moment. And even though you might be hustling and you're working through things, and smelling the roses may not be your thing, maybe work is your thing that you like, or, you know, there's something that people are like, what, how do you spend so much time? Why do you do so much on that? I think sometimes people think that with my art. I love it. It lights me up. And so I'm going to continue to hustle and put things together because I love it. And that is stopping to smell the roses. It's stopping to paint. I love it. And so, you know, I don't know if any of that made sense, how I just worded it all out, but it was a big conversation for us. Little conversations with kids all the time. Mine are 6 and 8, and I am homeschooling. It's my first year to fully homeschool. I was not the person who ever said I was going to homeschool, but I did. So, yeah. If you have watched any of my videos at all, one of the things I really like is simple, is just mark making, picking a color. You can do samples on different pages and just seeing with the different paintbrushes, like their markings they will make. And I like to repeat it through the page just because I have some background in pattern design, and I like how it brings it together and it just kind of guides your eye around. So whenever I do it, I kind of think I'll pick a color and then I try to kind of pass it through, you know, through the piece. If you're wondering, on this notebook, by the way, I really like the paper in this notebook. It's amazing. I don't typically like to have a seam down the middle. I like a big page where my hands can move. However, being that I'm really trying to focus on the therapeutic art side of things, and I do sell some products like t-shirts and bags and stuff on my website, but I didn't want to be so focused on trying to create like a finished work of art, and I noticed that when I had the big paper I was, and so I bought this, and I'm like, it could be a finished piece I guess on one side, and there's been a few that I've been like, man, but it was a decision to get this with a seam so that I'm not like tempted to try to make it like this grand work of art. And that might seem backwards to some people, and that may not be what you're looking for, but the whole idea of this art journal is that it's a journal, and it is not this quest to become, you know, to finish these big works of art. I have canvases. I mean, this is mine, and it's nothing that it's like, it's, again, I'm like, it's not this amazing work of art, but I like it. It adds color, and it was fun to do. So, yeah. I think I have rambled on, and we are coming up to 20 minutes, and I wanted to keep these not too long, so under 30 minutes was my goal. So I'm going to stop, largely because I feel like it feels good. I might add on to this another day if I just want to play around. But my hope is with these feel good sessions is that you will start to see that, I just talked and talked to you. You might not like that. And the idea is that I will try to share a few little tips, but I just want you to start painting. And maybe you don't want to hang out with me. Maybe you don't like it like this. Maybe you prefer how the first one was, where I gave a little more. I had painted it and then I kind of watched and talked about it. So I'm kind of trying out different formats. I would love it if you would let me know in the comments to be like, girl, you talk too much, or I would like to hear a lot more about the art. And, so I'm kind of figuring things out, and I would love some feedback from you. And that's going to wrap up this session. That's episode 2 of the Feel Good Sessions. And hopefully I will see you in the next one. Be sure to like and subscribe if you liked this video. Thanks, guys. Peace and love.